Hey there, welcome to Timeless Tales. It's a tale that has captivated hearts and minds for centuries. This ancient narrative, found in the sacred texts of many cultures, has been a beacon of hope and a source of inspiration for countless generations. The story of Noah's Ark is not just a tale of survival, but a profound lesson in faith, obedience, and the enduring power of hope. Passed down through generations, it speaks of faith, courage, and the enduring power of hope. Families have gathered around hearths, sharing this story with their children, ensuring that the lessons of Noah's Ark are never forgotten. It is a story that transcends time, reminding us of the importance of trust and perseverance in the face of adversity. It's a story about the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable challenges. Imagine the determination and strength required to build an enormous ark, a vessel capable of withstanding a cataclysmic flood, all while facing ridicule and disbelief from those around you. Noah's unwavering faith and commitment to his divine mission are a testament to the power of belief and the human spirit's capacity to overcome even the most daunting obstacles. Imagine a world consumed by wickedness, a world where moral decay and corruption have reached their zenith, and the very fabric of society is unraveling. This was the world in which Noah lived, a world teetering on the brink of destruction, a world where chaos and corruption reigned supreme. The marketplace, once a symbol of community and prosperity, had become a den of iniquity, where deceit and treachery were the norms. The people had lost their way, and the world was in desperate need of redemption. This was the world of Noah. Amidst the chaos and moral decay, Noah stood as a beacon of righteousness, a man of integrity and unwavering faith. He was a solitary figure, chosen by God to undertake an extraordinary mission that would change the course of history. But amidst the darkness, a single man stood apart. Noah's faith set him apart from the rest, and his obedience to God's command would become a defining moment in the annals of human history. He was tasked with building an ark, a monumental undertaking that would require immense dedication and perseverance, a man chosen by God to embark on an extraordinary mission. Noah's journey was not just a physical one, but a spiritual odyssey that tested his faith and resolve. He was to gather his family and pairs of every living creature, ensuring the survival of life on earth in the face of impending doom. This is the story of Noah and the great flood. The floodwaters rose, engulfing the ancient world in a deluge of biblical proportions. But within the ark, Noah and his family, along with the animals, found refuge and safety. The ark became a symbol of hope and salvation, a testament to the power of faith and divine providence. A story that reminds us that even in the darkest of times, a glimmer of hope can spark a new beginning. The flickering candle in the darkness symbolizes the enduring light of hope that can guide us through the most challenging times. Noah's story is a powerful reminder that no matter how dire the circumstances, there is always the possibility of renewal and redemption. It's a story that continues to resonate with people from all walks of life, offering comfort, guidance, and a timeless message of redemption. Across cultures and generations, the story of Noah's Ark has been a source of solace and inspiration. It teaches us about the importance of faith, the strength of the human spirit, and the enduring power of hope. In a world that often seems fraught with challenges and uncertainties, the timeless tale of Noah's Ark reminds us that with faith and perseverance, we can overcome any obstacle and find a path to a brighter future. Noah was a good man. He was not just good in the sense of being kind or generous, but he was a man of deep integrity and unwavering faith. In a world where moral decay had become the norm, Noah stood out as a beacon of righteousness. His life was a testament to the power of faith and the strength of character. He was a man who walked the path of virtue, even when it was the most difficult path to tread. A righteous man in a world that had lost its way. The world around him was filled with corruption and sin. People had abandoned their moral compass, choosing instead to follow their basest instincts. They had turned their backs on the values that once held their society together. In this desolate landscape, Noah's righteousness shone like a beacon, a solitary light in a sea of darkness. He was a man who refused to be swayed by the prevailing winds of immorality. He walked with God, his heart pure, his faith unwavering. Noah's relationship with God was not just a matter of ritual or tradition, it was a deep personal connection. He spent his days in prayer and contemplation, seeking guidance and strength from the divine. His faith was not a passive belief, but an active force that guided his every action. He lived his life in accordance with God's will, always striving to do what was right, even when it was difficult. Surrounded by wickedness, Noah remained a beacon of light. In a world where people were driven by greed, lust, and violence, Noah's integrity and faithfulness stood in stark contrast. He was a man who lived by a different set of values, guided by a higher moral code. His life was a testament to the power of faith and the strength of character. He was a man who refused to be corrupted by the world around him, choosing instead to stand firm in his beliefs. But the world around him had descended into chaos. The once thriving society had become a place of violence and disorder. People had abandoned their moral compass, choosing instead to follow their basest instincts. The world was filled with conflict and strife as people fought for power and wealth. In the midst of this chaos, Noah's righteousness stood out even more starkly. He was a man who refused to be swayed by the prevailing winds of immorality. People had turned away from God, their hearts filled with greed and violence. They had abandoned the values that once held their society together, choosing instead to follow their own selfish desires. The world was filled with corruption and sin as people sought to satisfy their own appetites at the expense of others. In this environment, Noah's faith and integrity were a stark contrast to the prevailing culture of greed and violence. The earth was corrupted by their evil deeds. The once beautiful world had become a place of darkness and despair. The land was tainted by the actions of those who had turned away from God. The natural world itself seemed to reflect the moral decay of humanity, as if the very earth was groaning under the weight of their sins. In this corrupted landscape, Noah's righteousness was a beacon of hope, a reminder that goodness and integrity could still exist. God saw the wickedness in their hearts. He looked down upon the world and saw the corruption and sin that had taken hold of humanity. He saw the greed, the violence, and the selfishness that had become the norm. But he also saw Noah, a man who remained faithful and righteous in the midst of this moral decay. God's heart was filled with sorrow as he witnessed the state of the world. But he also saw a glimmer of hope in Noah's unwavering faith. He saw the pain and suffering they inflicted upon each other. The world was filled with cruelty and injustice as people sought to satisfy their own desires at the expense of others. The weak and vulnerable were oppressed, and the strong took advantage of their power. In the midst of this suffering, Noah's compassion and integrity stood out even more starkly. He was a man who cared for others, who sought to alleviate their suffering and bring a measure of justice to the world. And he knew that something had to be done. God could not stand by and watch as humanity destroyed itself. He knew that a drastic action was needed to cleanse the world of its corruption and sin. But he also knew that Noah, with his unwavering faith and righteousness, would be the key to this new beginning. God decided to intervene, to bring about a great cleansing that would give humanity a fresh start. A profound sadness filled his heart. God was not a distant, indifferent deity. He cared deeply for his creation. The state of the world brought him great sorrow, as he saw the pain and suffering that humanity had brought upon itself. But he also saw the potential for redemption, the possibility of a new beginning. His heart was heavy with the weight of the decision he had to make, but he knew that it was the only way to bring about a better future for humanity. The time had come for a cleansing. God decided to bring about a great flood, a powerful force that would wash away the corruption and sin that had taken hold of the world. This was not a decision made in anger, but in sorrow and hope. The flood would be a means of purifying the earth, of giving humanity a chance to start anew. And at the center of this new beginning would be Noah, a man whose faith and righteousness would guide the way. A fresh start for humanity. The flood would cleanse the world of its corruption, but it would also bring about a new beginning. Noah, with his unwavering faith and integrity, would be the foundation of this new world. His life would serve as a model for future generations, a testament to the power of faith and the importance of living a righteous life. In the end, the story of Noah is not just a tale of destruction, but a story of hope and renewal, a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is always the possibility of a new beginning. God spoke to Noah. In a world filled with corruption and violence, where humanity had strayed far from the path of righteousness, God sought a way to restore balance and purity. He chose Noah, a man of unwavering faith and integrity, to be the beacon of hope in these dark times. He told him of his plan to cleanse the earth with a great flood. This flood would wash away the sins of mankind, purging the world of its wickedness and allowing for a fresh start. The gravity of this divine plan weighed heavily on Noah, but he understood the necessity of such a drastic measure. He would wipe the slate clean and give humanity a chance to start anew. This was not just a punishment, but a promise of renewal, a chance for humanity to rebuild itself on the foundations of faith and righteousness. God's vision was clear: a world reborn, free from the corruption that had tainted it. But God also saw the goodness in Noah. Amidst the chaos and moral decay, Noah stood out as a beacon of hope. His life was a testament to the virtues that God cherished: honesty, integrity, and an unshakable faith. Noah's heart was pure, and his spirit was strong. He saw his unwavering faith and his righteous heart. Noah's dedication to living a life of virtue did not go unnoticed. God recognized in Noah the qualities that were needed to lead humanity through this impending trial. Noah's faith was not just a belief, but a way of life, guiding his every action and decision. God instructed Noah to build an ark. This was no ordinary task. It was a monumental undertaking that required immense faith and perseverance. The ark was to be a vessel of salvation, a sanctuary that would protect Noah, his family, and the creatures of the earth from the deluge to come. A massive vessel, large enough to shelter Noah, his family, and 2 of every living creature on earth. The sheer scale of the ark was daunting, but Noah did not waver. He understood the importance of this divine mission and committed himself fully to the task at hand. This ark would be their salvation, a sanctuary from the coming storm. It was a symbol of God's mercy and a testament to Noah's faith. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Noah and his family worked tirelessly, driven by the knowledge that their efforts would ensure the survival of life on earth. Noah listened to God's words. Every instruction, every detail was followed with precision. Noah's faith in God's plan was absolute, and he knew that obedience was crucial to the success of this divine mission. He didn't question. He didn't doubt. In a world where doubt and fear could easily take root, Noah's faith remained steadfast. He trusted in God's wisdom and believed that this plan, though difficult, was just and necessary. He knew in his heart that God's plan was just. That this conviction gave Noah the strength to persevere even when the task seemed insurmountable. His faith was a guiding light, illuminating the path forward and giving him the courage to continue. With unwavering faith, Noah set about his task, a task that would test the very limits of his strength and resolve. The journey was long and arduous, filled with challenges that tested not only his physical endurance, but also his spiritual fortitude. Yet through it all, Noah remained committed to his divine mission, knowing that the future of humanity depended on his faith and determination. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more fascinating videos. Until next time, stay curious.